The rumors were impossible to ignore. For months, whispers had circulated through Hollywood that Blake Lively believed she could pull off the ultimate celebrity disappearing act. Leave Justin Baldoni carrying the blame for a disastrous production fallout, while she walked away looking like the innocent victim. But as the legal drama spiraled deeper into chaos, the situation began turning against her in ways nobody expected. Every week seemed to bring another leaked document, another awkward text message, another piece of evidence that completely changed the public narrative. What initially looked like a straightforward Hollywood controversy slowly transformed into one of the most explosive celebrity public relations disasters in recent memory. The entire situation became so messy that even experienced entertainment attorneys started openly questioning what was really happening behind the scenes. Some legal analysts began floating a theory that instantly caught fire online. What if Ryan Reynolds had been acting out of jealousy this entire time? The moment that possibility entered public discussion, many observers suddenly felt like the pieces finally fit together. What once appeared to be a professional dispute over a film production now looked more like a deeply personal ego war involving power, insecurity, and revenge. To understand how everything collapsed so dramatically, it is important to go back to the beginning, before lawsuits, leaked recordings, and social media outrage consumed the story. For years, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had carefully built one of the most polished celebrity brands in Hollywood. Ryan was known for his sarcastic humor and self-aware online personality, while Blake cultivated the image of a glamorous but relatable fashion icon. Together, they marketed themselves as the perfect celebrity couple. Funny, successful, supportive, and untouchable. That image began cracking during the production and promotion of the film adaptation of It Ends With Us, based on the best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover. Fans expected the usual glamorous press tour filled with red carpets, smiling interviews, and carefully rehearsed compliments between cast members. Instead, audiences immediately noticed something strange. Justin Baldoni, who directed and starred in the film, appeared oddly separated from the rest of the cast during promotional appearances. While Blake Lively attended interviews and events alongside fellow actors, Justin often promoted the movie alone. At first, rumors quickly spread that Justin was difficult to work with. Anonymous entertainment insiders claimed he created an uncomfortable atmosphere on set and crossed professional boundaries during intimate scenes. The narrative was clear. Blake Lively was supposedly the victim of an unpleasant workplace experience, while Justin Baldoni was painted as the problem behind the scenes. Major entertainment blogs amplified the story, and social media initially sided with Blake. However, modern celebrity culture works differently than it did a decade ago. Audiences no longer passively accept studio-controlled narratives without investigation. Fans began analyzing interviews, reviewing press clips, and comparing public statements from everyone involved. As more footage resurfaced online, the situation became far more complicated. Justin Baldoni consistently discussed the emotional themes of the movie with seriousness and sensitivity, focusing on domestic trauma and relationship dynamics explored in the story. Blake Lively, meanwhile, received criticism for appearing disconnected from the film's heavier subject matter. During interviews, she frequently promoted her beauty products, joked about fashion, and discussed unrelated celebrity topics. Online audiences quickly accused her of appearing tone-deaf and overly focused on branding instead of the movie itself. As public opinion began shifting, Blake's team reportedly realized standard celebrity damage control would not be enough. Instead of allowing the backlash to continue growing online, the conflict escalated into a highly publicized legal battle. Blake officially filed an explosive lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and his production company, accusing him of misconduct, emotional distress, and inappropriate behavior during filming. The lawsuit immediately dominated entertainment headlines. Blake's legal team described an allegedly toxic work environment and portrayed Justin as a manipulative filmmaker who abused his authority. To many observers, the filing appeared designed not only to secure damages, but to permanently destroy Justin Baldoni's reputation in Hollywood. But Blake's team made one critical mistake. They assumed Justin Baldoni would quietly surrender under pressure. Instead, Justin hired an aggressive legal defense team, and launched a massive countersuit worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Suddenly, what had started as a celebrity controversy transformed into a brutal legal war involving contracts, production control, leaked evidence, and public reputation. Then came the discovery process. Once both sides were legally required to hand over internal communications, raw footage, emails, and audio recordings, the situation exploded. Blake's legal team reportedly fought hard to keep many materials sealed from the public, arguing that releasing them would damage business relationships and ongoing brand deals. But the court allowed key evidence to become public, and the internet immediately dissected every detail. One of the most damaging moments involved raw filming footage connected to Blake's central allegations. According to her complaint, Justin Baldoni had allegedly acted inappropriately during an intimate dance sequence. The lawsuit implied that certain comments and physical choices occurred without consent and outside the planned choreography. However, the released audio recordings appeared to tell a different story. The footage reported showed Justin clearly communicating with Blake throughout the scene, explaining camera positioning, movement adjustments, and creative choices in real time. Blake's responses sounded cooperative and relaxed, not fearful or distressed. Online audiences reacted instantly. Critics accused Blake's legal team of dramatically exaggerating routine filmmaking decisions to support a sensational narrative. The backlash became intense. Legal commentators openly questioned why Blake's attorneys had filed such serious accusations without fully verifying what recorded evidence existed. Instead of strengthening her position, the leaked footage severely damaged her credibility. As if that were not enough, additional unsealed documents revealed private text messages between Blake Lively and actress Jenny Slate. The conversations immediately went viral online because of their exaggerated tone and uncomfortable performative affection. The messages were filled with over-the-top compliments and emotional validation that many readers found artificial and insincere. But one section caused even greater controversy. During one exchange, Jenny Slate commented that Colleen Hoover seemed distant and cold during a promotional event. Blake allegedly responded by admitting that the author made her uncomfortable behind closed doors. That revelation shocked fans because Blake had publicly presented herself and Colleen Hoover as extremely close creative collaborators throughout the press tour. Suddenly, audiences felt manipulated. The carefully crafted image of artistic unity behind the film appeared fake, and readers of the original novel began accusing the production of exploiting the source material for celebrity branding rather than respecting the story itself. Around the same time, public attention increasingly shifted toward Ryan Reynolds. Initially, Ryan had largely remained in the background, publicly supporting his wife while maintaining his usual humorous persona. But leaked internal communications and industry rumors suggested he may have played a far more aggressive role behind the scenes than anyone realized. Reports emerged claiming Ryan allegedly pressured studio executives, interfered with creative decisions, and aggressively pushed against Justin Baldoni's authority as director. According to leaked accounts from production meetings, Ryan reportedly became furious during disputes over editing choices and allegedly threatened Justin's future career opportunities. These reports stunned many fans because they clashed sharply with Ryan Reynolds' carefully maintained nice guy public image. Entertainment analysts began asking why Ryan seemed so emotionally invested in the conflict. That was when the jealousy theory exploded online. Commentators pointed out that It Ends With Us required Blake and Justin to spend months filming emotional and physically intimate scenes together. Unlike a normal co-star situation, Justin was also the director, meaning he controlled the tone, framing, and execution of those romantic sequences. Some legal analysts speculated that Ryan may have grown deeply uncomfortable watching the connection between Blake and Justin develop during production. Then another controversy intensified those suspicions. Court documents reportedly referenced a late-night voice memo Justin Baldoni had sent to Blake during filming. According to summaries discussed publicly, the message sounded emotional, vulnerable, and unusually intimate for a professional director-to-actress exchange. Even some people who criticized Justin admitted the recording sounded flirtatious. For many observers, that detail changed everything. If Ryan Reynolds became aware of emotionally charged late-night messages between his wife and her co-star/director, it suddenly became easier to understand why tensions may have escalated so aggressively behind the scenes. The conflict no longer looked purely professional. It began resembling a deeply personal emotional war disguised as a legal dispute. Public perception shifted dramatically after that. Instead of viewing Blake and Ryan as victims fighting workplace misconduct, many audiences began seeing them as powerful celebrities attempting to crush a filmmaker who refused to surrender. Online criticism intensified. People revisited Ryan's public interviews and marketing campaigns, accusing him of using subtle jokes and indirect attacks to humiliate Justin Baldoni publicly. The legal battle also created severe financial consequences. Blake's beauty brand reportedly suffered significant reputational damage as online boycotts spread across social media platforms. Viral posts showed products being discounted or removed from premium retail displays. Consumers openly associated the brand with manipulation, elitism, and toxic celebrity culture. Legal experts pointed out another uncomfortable reality. Blake herself initiated the lawsuit. Critics argued that her team voluntarily opened the door to public discovery, only to panic once damaging evidence started emerging. As the case weakened, reports suggested settlement discussions began privately. According to rumors, Blake's team allegedly became willing to walk away without financial compensation if Justin agreed to sign a strict confidentiality agreement, preventing him from discussing the situation publicly. Justin reportedly refused. That refusal became one of the most devastating developments for Blake and Ryan because it meant the story would never fully disappear. Without an NDA, Justin retained the ability to discuss his experience publicly in the future through interviews, documentaries, podcasts, or memoirs. Even after legal proceedings began slowing down, the social fallout continued spreading throughout Hollywood. One of the biggest developments involved Taylor Swift, who had long been publicly associated with Blake Lively as one of her closest celebrity friends. Rumors circulated that Taylor's management team became alarmed after reports suggested her communications could potentially become entangled in the legal conflict. Although many details remain speculative, entertainment bloggers claim Taylor's inner circle moved quickly to distance her brand from the controversy. Fans noticed that several celebrities who previously interacted regularly with Blake suddenly stopped publicly acknowledging her online. The shift was impossible to ignore. Hollywood friendships often depend heavily on public perception, and once a celebrity becomes associated with controversy, social alliances can disappear almost overnight. Internet users closely tracked which stars continued supporting Blake publicly, and which quietly vanished from her orbit. Meanwhile, Reddit threads and YouTube commentary channels exploded with viral breakdowns analyzing every stage of the lawsuit. Long posts cataloged Blake's alleged strategic failures, financial losses, and reputational damage. The internet transformed the controversy into a full-scale public spectacle. Industry insiders also began questioning Blake's future career viability. Some anonymous producers reportedly suggested audiences no longer viewed her as relatable or trustworthy enough for sympathetic leading roles. Instead, critics argued that her public image had shifted toward something colder, more calculating, and more corporate. Ryan Reynolds faced growing scrutiny as well. Fans revisited older interviews and public appearances, questioning whether his charming, self-aware personality had always functioned as a carefully engineered marketing strategy. The most uncomfortable reality for Blake and Ryan is that the story may not actually be over. Because Justin Baldoni reportedly refused to sign a confidentiality agreement, the possibility of future revelations continues hanging over the situation. Audiences remain fascinated by the scandal, and many believe a major interview or tell-all project could still emerge later. Whether Justin eventually speaks publicly in detail or chooses to remain silent permanently, the damage has already reshaped public perception of everyone involved. What started as a glamorous Hollywood production ultimately turned into a cautionary tale about celebrity power, public manipulation, social media scrutiny, and the limits of carefully managed branding. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds entered the conflict believing their influence and reputation would protect them. Instead, the controversy exposed how quickly digital audiences can dismantle even the most polished celebrity image once contradictions begin surfacing publicly. The lawsuits may eventually fade from headlines, but the reputational consequences are likely to linger for years. In the age of leaked messages, viral commentary, and online investigations, celebrity narratives are no longer fully controlled by expensive PR teams and carefully scripted interviews. Once the internet senses dishonesty, the backlash can become unstoppable. And in this case, many viewers believe the real damage did not come from the courtroom itself. It came from watching Hollywood's carefully constructed illusion of perfection collapse in real time.